both the pre-accession assistance, the 421 million, as well as the funds under the Reform and Growth Facility for over 880 million come on top of what I already mentioned, on top of the 3.7 billion euros spent in support of Kosovo. As you know, the European Union is the largest provider of financial assistance to Kosovo since the very beginning, since the war of 1999, and then across the decades we have invested some 3.7 billion euros here in Kosovo as the European Union to support a very fundamental transformation from a country ravaged by war to the flourishing place we are seeing today. You asked about areas on which we are focusing. Of course, for the European Union, the very fundamental area is rule of law, reforms of the judiciary, ensuring that citizens, companies can have a level playing field and can focus on pursuing their happiness, so to say, but have a level playing field to invest, to have a judiciary which is independent and impartial. So that is the first area on which we are focusing. Second is economy and everything which is connected to prosperity of Kosovo, so that Kosovo can integrate into European Union and the EU internal market one day and can compete there with the forces on that market. And in that regard, for instance, we have not only supported private companies, allowing them to grow, enabling them to grow, supporting vulnerable people in the society, supporting youth, supporting women, but as well, for instance, in the context of this integration of Kosovo, are working on integration of Kosovo into the single European payment area. We need to support Kosovo in improving waste management, for instance, in helping clean the air and increasingly rely on renewables. But on that way, we are, for instance, helping install filters, which one day will hopefully achieve that there is cleaner air above Pristina and across Kosovo. And then the very last area I would wish to mention is crucial everywhere in Europe for the strength of our democracies, and that is support for the resilience of the society, and especially resilience against disinformation and misinformation, which frankly, if we just give it a free range for such activities, this will undermine Kosovo's democracy. And we need to foster Kosovo's democracy, foster ability to have independent media, and to be able to face and deal with disinformation. Another instrument which the European Commission and the European taxpayers put to the disposal of the whole Western Balkan region is the Reform and Growth Facility, which is a very concrete instrument to be clearly bound to and conditioned on reforms implemented by the respective governments in the region. So in the case of Kosovo, the Kosovo government in 2024 already developed a set of reforms which they want to pursue and they want to implement based on their own political will. Which they discussed with the European Commission, and for which we agreed that we will support Kosovo. With overall, over 3 years, it's over 880 million euros. These 880 million euros are, as I mentioned, concretely connected to reforms which Kosovo government committed to implement. So these reforms are transformational in the areas I touched upon already: rule of law, digitalization, public administration, environment. And we will be assessing progress every half a year, and depending on how the progress goes, we will be progressively releasing shares of this overall sum. Already this spring, Kosovo is receiving a pre-financing in the height of some 60 million euros. And we will be watching progress and hoping to continue. And of course, I want to stress that both the pre-accession assistance, the 421 million, as well as the funds under the Reform and Growth Facility for over 880 million come on top of what I already mentioned, on top of the 3.7 billion euros spent in support of Kosovo.